Next last meeting of the year, our May 9th meeting, is our picnic, so everybody gets to bring something, and we'll have barbecue, I guess, unless we come up with something else. And we'll either have it back in the same room where we had the history symposium a couple of weeks ago, or we might even have it outside if the weather's at all good. Don't bet on that, by the way. How many people here came to the historian symposium a couple of weeks ago? Was it good? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of people take part in that. We had a lot of people participate. We had a lot of people sponsor it, and it was really, I think, a fun time. We've got a couple of bicentennial projects we're going to be working on over the summer and so forth. Last week, how many people came to the unveiling of the first historical marker that we unveiled out at 7th and Martin Luther King to the old fairgrounds? That's the first of 10, and as they come in over the next few weeks and months, we'll be having other unveilings and so forth. We want everybody to be there for that as well. So how many folks here are going to Prospect Bluff with us on Saturday? Yes, Prospect Bluff, the Negro Fort, or Fort Negro as many people call it, or some people still call it Fort Gadsden. Yeah, I mean it will be a fun trip, an instructive trip. We will meet again. You can meet us there if you want to, down Highway 20. It's about 75 miles. Will take you about an hour and 3/4 to get there. If you make it on your own, you can GPS it, and it will get you there. But if you want to, you can meet us in the parking lot of the food co-op down at Magnolia and Appalachia, and we will create a caravan and try to jam as many people as we can into as few a number of cars, and so we can sort of make this worthwhile. It should be great. I called down there today to make sure that the place wasn't flooded out, and they said no, they're waiting for us. So how many new members do we have tonight? This is your first meeting. Stand up. Stand up. This is great. We hope we don't make you sorry. I guess as long as I'm president, there is that possibility. You will have the chance at the May meeting to vote for our slate of officers. I guess I'll run again, and Will Gandy, who is our treasurer here, is going to be both our treasurer and our vice president. He doesn't quite know yet how that's going to work out.
Yeah, if they vote for me, right?
That's right. If you vote for him, that's right. That's right. And Tom Eaton is around here. He will be running again for secretary. And our present vice president, Marjorie Holliday, who's been vice president for 10 years now, is that right? Is going to retreat into regular at-large status on the board. But her job will be the same, to keep me under control, as it always has been. So I know Lynn down here going, how's that going to work out? What a program we have tonight. I mean, if you've been following any of the bicentennial stuff, and if you came to any of the task force committees and oversight committees and so forth, you know that Marcus Curtis, who is with the county GIS program, I mean, this is one of those situations where technology, modern technology, makes the study of history so much more interesting and so much more fun. And I won't say easier, because there's still a lot of research and a lot of work that goes into it, but it does provide a real important visual component to it. And so we were trying to figure a way to get Marcus to speak to us, this year. And Doug had to cancel tonight his April meeting because he wasn't ready to give it. And so I thought, Marcus, yeah, come on down. And so, you guys have all seen The Price is Right. So I will say to Marcus Curtis, come on down.
Good evening. Just by a show of hands, how many of you have used or consumed GIS in some fashion? Okay, all right. Another question, by any chance, did any of you see the tomato cart out front? No? Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure Lonnie didn't set a tomato cart out there so he could throw tomatoes at me tonight. Lonnie's my good friend, and he's been working with us for quite a while, so thanks for coming, Lonnie.
Thanks for joining us.
I see a lot of new faces. My name is Marcus Curtis. I'm with Tallahassee-Leon County GIS, and I've been with the county for quite a number of years, and I want to talk to you about GIS and history. And also, TLC GIS, Tallahassee-Leon County Geographical Information Systems, is part of an interlocal group, and that group consists of the Leon County, right here, Leon County, City of Tallahassee, and the Leon County Property Appraiser's Office. And so we provide a lot of functions. You can see here. It's just a snapshot of some of the things that we've done over the years. You can see this on our website, tlcgis.org. How many of you have seen the history website? Okay, only a few. All right, so right here, this is our history website. And let's scroll up a little. Let's go, yeah, and you can launch right here if you use your cell phone. That'll take you to the website if you care to take a look at it while we go through this presentation. So what is GIS? Geographical Information Systems. And this definition I have here posted is from Esri Software Provider. It's a system that creates, manages, analyzes, and maps all types of data. You can find a GIS person, a staff person working for Publix, and anything with logistics. We map fire hydrants, telephone poles, street segments, buildings, quite a few things. So this provides the foundation for mapping and analysis that is used in science and almost every industry. So one of the techniques that we've used in this particular website, the history website, we use georeferencing. It's aligning geographic data to a known coordinate system so it can be viewed, queried, and analyzed with other geographic data. And the old term for georeferencing was rubber shooting. That was the old term. This is a new fancy $5 word, georeferencing, and LiDAR, light detection and ranging. This is basically when a plane flies over and shoots a laser down to the ground, it catches the Z value, which is the height of trees, buildings, and then you can classify that and say, well, this is vegetation, whether it's high, low, or medium, or it's the building, or it's the ground. And if you go down a little bit here, and once you do that, you can create a visual elevation model which gives the topography of the land on how that looks. By any chance, who has a good guess of where this might be in here in Leon County? Well, this is the Lake Jackson Mounds here. And this is Lake Jackson. So to kind of give you an idea of the character of the landscape. And you can see different shapes. You can see old roads, you can see just building footprints and so on. And one other thing that has been utilized to see disturbance of land is ground penetrating radar. Although we use LiDAR flying from a plane, we're not able to see under the surface. And this is where this comes in. So in this particular photo, Panhandle Archaeological Society of Tallahassee is doing a ground penetrating radar report here for the Munrie Cemetery that is located in northeast Leon County. So here's another opportunity that we have of way markers. You'll see the historical signs. And this was a project that we had for a scavenger hunt where you could go out and see some odd sites with your cell phone, and you could take selfies, and we had a competition and you could send in your pictures, and at that time there was a cash prize for this. But these sites, you can see the historical marker out in front of the courthouse, the Lewis State Bank marker, and this was the original marker that was in Cascade Park. Now it's located on Phillips Road, right off of Mayhem. And this, the Exchange Building, which is on the corner of College and North Monroe, was considered to be the skyscraper of its time. It's a mere 5 stories now, but just think of it as skyscraper. So in cemeteries is another item that's a hot item that's been coming up on the list. Within the last 5 years, the state had acknowledged that it lost about 3,500 cemeteries. And utilizing GIS, we are trying to reduce the research time it takes to find abandoned and lost cemeteries. And this particular cemetery, the Munrie Cemetery, is located what it was considered to be the Wulani Plantation. But although the Wulani Plantation is a combination of 3 other plantations that came before it, because Mr. Udo Fleischman purchased Wulani around 1912. That's when he started purchasing the property that became known as the Wulani Plantation. And this is the cemetery. You see it in the back, right here. And here's the picture. I was out there with SEAC. They were taking GPR and cadaver dogs in 2012 when this picture was taken. All right, and this right here, this image is one other technique that we use. I researched this plantation. You can see the boundaries in blue. This is considered the New Hope Plantation location, which I derived this from legal description from the 1884. The D Book Z, page 308, 508. And there's the date there. And that's the location of the cemetery right here that was found a few years ago by a citizen and a historian. And she mentioned to me that she was trying to find this cemetery for approximately 25 years. Well, if this plantation boundary was found, perhaps this cemetery could have been located a lot sooner. This boundary was lost to time, and it was embedded in a deed no one had a reference to. And so by sourcing out this plantation boundaries, we're able to locate near about where things are. Now, one thing that came to mind is when I talked to Mr. Lonnie Mann about he wanted to find oral history documentation. Right here is listed right here. Mr. Charles Austin had mentioned in a report that a cemetery was across a brook. You had to cross the same brook twice. And you're going east on Miccosukee, you cross over, and it's a little road here, and it comes back across the same brook. And we managed to find that, and then come to this this cemetery right here, and the Test Arena Church is right in front of that, right along the roadway. Now, who would have thought that this one-line creek would be considered a branch? Excuse me, that was the term, a branch that you have to cross twice. I was kind of baffled myself. It's not in a circle, and definitely is, you know, it's going basically north-south, so how could this be? But we managed to find that. And you can see this in the digital elevation model as well. So this is a copy of that deed, and you can see here, the names here, Williams and Bradley. Williams sold it to Bradley. Here's the name that was lost at the time of the plantation. And this is a rarity because in this time period in the 19th century, it's all about business management and branding. In this particular instance, the branding name is in documentation and not just on a fence post. And so you have the New Hope Plantation. It's like many other plantation boundaries were lost to time. And in this document, you can see here the seal, the name. And this is just a legal description describing those boundaries that I've already drawn out for you. So this is another opportunity that we found. This was in the file room, balled up in the corner. This is the 1970 a large ownership plantation boundaries that will be soonly available for download on the website. So we took this image, and you can see here where the city limits is in 1970. This is a national forest, and you can see large swaths of land owned by certain companies, and ownership names are on these companies, so you can see who owned it at that particular time. This was derived from Mr. Dr. B. Breckenheimer, and he worked with Leon County and Tallahassee Planning Department to create this 1984 plantation boundary. And you can see Southwood and Chimoni. And this would be available also. Another opportunity that we've been managing to try to approach is the recreation of the Camino Real from St. Augustine to Pensacola. And we know all these little bells here, there are mission sites along the roadway. And so we're taking the initiative to try to find all the old trails and railroad beds and all of the old road beds that we can find and identify, because there are a lot of sites that's associated, you can just see that's close to the main road here. This is a survey from the General Land Office, the Bureau of Land Management, from the Department of Interior, the federal government. And this is a section of the Bellamy Road, and this is the township and section there, and it's in Madison County. And the Bellamy Road does this here, which portion of the old Camino is the Bellamy Road or Jackson Road or Jackson Trail. All of those in some part are the same road with multiple names. And you can see here's a historical marker, the Pensacola to St. Augustine Road. You can see that, and that's that text for that. $23,000 is what John Bellamy was paid to improve that road that initially was a livestock trail that turned into a Native American trail, which the British used it, the Spanish used it, and then the Americans used it as well. And this survey is the Forbes Little River survey in Gaston County. This is important because it shows Native American villages pathway, Perryman's Pathway. Is anyone here familiar with Tom Perryman? Well, maybe if you heard Kenhinga or Kanachi or Miccosukee, the village of Miccosukee. This gentleman, his Anglo name was Tom Perryman, but he's known as Kenhinga. This map here shows his path coming through Gaston County, which ultimately he were part of the Miccosukee tribe, the chief in Miccosukee. And so this travel path is back and forth through Prospect Bluff on the Apalachicola River. This is the Jackson Trail, and you can see it here. And this is also a survey. They have the data over here. Let's see, and that's the township section. And by the way, we do have these surveys, not this particular one, but we have about 20 from the 1800s, between 1824 to 1902. And ready for download, so if you had a project you need to research, they are available. And free at cost. That's important. And here we have historic schools. This is also an opportunity to help widen the scope of the historical content we have. And these are throughout Leon County here. This particular one is Bel Air, which was off of Woodville Highway. That's associated with Reverend Page, Mr. Lewis Taylor Washington, which was Aquilina Howell's grandfather. And this is the Macon Community School there.
Is Lake Hall one of those?
Lake Hall is not one of these, but Lake Hall School is still there. It's still there. And I do have something to share about Lake Hall. And just to give you an idea, this is a new story map that we will be launching very soon. And if you have not signed up for the subscription, you can do that and get noticed of all the new material that comes out. So we'll send you an email with the link with additional content. And this is some of our source data, old maps, photos, census data, waymarkers, markers, deeds, LiDAR, master site file, and oral histories to compile this website. Cemetery and inventory list, and news articles. So what's new? We do have updates, and we have a data dictionary, and we have history games that's on the website now for youth. And I would like to thank the Tallahassee Historical Society, Mr. Bob Holliday, Mr. San Luis, Visit Tallahassee, the Bicentennial Committee, and the usual suspects, the City of Tallahassee, Leon County, and the Department of Historical Resources. So I want to launch into this. Just kind of give you an idea of the scope of what we've been doing. Each one of these, this is capital, you see Appalachia. And so we got a couple of markers here. Each one of these points have a story that's associated with another story, and perhaps in some cases 10 or more additional stories. This blue line, this corner here is Cascade Park. This blue line is the Lafayette Land Grant boundary. This black line is the boundary of the Grove, and that's the Grove there. This red line is a projected path of Andrew Jackson coming through to Mississippi. Here we are, we have one of those surveys that's been geo-referenced for your convenience. It shows ownership names. It shows hammocks, tree cover, swamps, section number, fields, wetlands, and homes. Let's scroll out. Just kind of give you an idea. Keep going. Scroll up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right. This is the area where Richard Call went to school. This pathway is Andrew Jackson going down the Mississippi River, down to Natchez during the War 1812. This is his path coming back up Natchez Trace, the Jackson Trail. You have the Hermitage is in this vicinity. The Duck River incident that created the interest for Richard Call to come to join the militia. And when he joined the militia, this was his path to come down here. He met Andrew Jackson here, and Andrew Jackson met him with his arm in a sling from having a brawl with two brothers and thrown down he threw the brothers down the staircase. And so coming down this pathway from Fayetteville is where they rendezvous, and this is the path down through the Creek Civil War, and came here to the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, where Andrew Jackson and his associates defeated the Red Stick Indians, and eventually came down through here, Battle of Mobile, went to New Orleans, and so on and so on. And this is perhaps how Richard Keith Cole became the governor of Florida, because his association with Andrew Jackson, and then he eventually came to Pensacola. All of this happened before he came to Pensacola. And then from Pensacola, he came to Tallahassee. But you can see all these different events. So you have the Creek Civil War in these points. You have the First Seminole War in this area. And you have the Apalachicola River. You got Andrew Jackson through West Florida path, and Andrew Jackson through East Florida. And you have the Jackson Trail. I showed you the survey for that. And you have these additional points here. There's another section that we identified. So all these points have additional stories that this is what I consider my workbook. So I look at this, I compare notes, and I make an assessment of it. And let's scroll out some. And so during the Seminole War, when Prospect Bluff was attacked, and the individuals came down into the peninsula, some left out and came around this way and went to Cuba. Some came this direction and went to the Bahamas. And so we know that there's support there, and some people over in the Red Bays and Bahamas and Nassau. So dugout canoes making it from Florida to the Bahamas and to Cuba. Very interesting. Now let's tab. I just want to share with y'all some of the other opportunities that we have. This is our website here. So if you've never used this, you can hit gallery here, hit gallery right there. And you have a host of name, faces, and places, people, information regarding where things are, churches, cemeteries, women's history, historical waymarkers here. We have the then and now where you can use the swipe tool. And we have the tax cadastral map. That's a tab over, that's gonna take a while to load. All right, just right there. Yeah, go back. This right here is a cemetery along the roadway. Let's turn this off right here. That's to the right. You wanna turn the light off, yeah. Turn off the 1883 right there. Let's change that to 1954 imagery. Let's zoom in on the cemetery. Let's go back, let's go to the, let's go back one more, 47. And in the imagery, you could see the cemetery. Just give you an idea of some of the work that we do. Did the imagery change? Let's try 66. Yeah, let's see. I'll tell you which one it is. Yeah, see the clump of trees? The clump of trees is where that cemetery was located.
What highway is that?
This is North Meridian Road.
How far out?
Can you zoom out a little bit? It's up by Lake Ammonia. Lake Ammonia should, if you zoom out, you'll see Lake Ammonia on the right here. It's right across this road. See it, the boundary? Okay, let's tab to the next one. All right, this is Appalachian Parkway. And this is Old St. Augustine Road. But you see this road here? We believe that is part of the Camino. Can you scroll over some? Oh, go, yeah, that way. Keep going, yeah. And zoom out a little bit. And I think it's right here. Keep going. Scoot over. The other way. There's a railroad trestle to the right of here. It's over here. You see it? That is not there anymore. So if we go back and change that back to 2023, you won't see that. But the bed is still there. You can see how the vegetation grows. Okay? Let's tab over to the next one. All right, this is Lake Hall. This is near the old one-room schoolhouse. And we look at historical roads to give us an idea. This 1883 tax cadastral map gives you the property lines from 1883, but the road goes this direction. So if we turn off go up here and turn off the 1883 tax cadastral map. Yeah, right there. Let's go to the color relief on 20. All right, let's zoom in. You can see the alignment of Thomasville Road right there. So, the actual schoolhouse is right in this vicinity, right on the roadway. So that's how some of the sites get lost, roads get changed, trees grow up, forgotten, it's not maintained. And this is a way that we can go back in time and see some of the changes that may be of interest, depending on your research, what you're looking for. You go back in the aerial imagery all the way back to 1937. So in some cases, like the Bel Air Schoolhouse that was moved in 1952, we can go back and see that structure in the aerial imagery. So that gives you an idea of how to piece together a lot of this data to make it very, very interesting as well, looking pretty cool on your cell phone. Let's set the tab over. One more. All right. This is Lake Lafayette. Has anyone seen the Z for Piney Z? The Z. All right, let's turn on the 1954 imagery.
When you say the Z, you mean the font? That the Z is?
Branding at its best, right there. Well, I think this kind of concludes what I wanted to share with you without getting too much into the details, but if you have any questions.
What year was that?
This is 1954. Yes, sir.
What road was that all those missions were across?
It's considered, it has many names, but the Camino Real was the first European name. The Jackson Trail in some parts is called Jackson Trail, in some parts it's called the Bellamy Road.
Also military road.
Yes, military road. It has many names in different places.
Was that DeSoto, when he made landing there and that road was put in to get the Spanish, his entourage and all that into this region? Was that how it came to be?
It was followed, the Spanish followed the trail of the indigenous population, because just like we drive cars from city to city, that was their highway at the time.
So the Native American tribes had used it as a trading route to get to the coast?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I guess the Spanish call it Camino Real.
Yes, the Spanish called it the Camino, but the road was already there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Marcus, can you pull up Mission San Luis, have her pull that up?
On, which
Where we
year?
are now.
Which year?
Yeah, the map, I wanted to show the people what this looked like in 54. You
Oh,
can see
okay,
the
yeah.
railroad that was out front. I mean, right where you're sitting right now.
Yeah, one interesting thing about this site, if you stand out front, the Mission, you can look right down Carl Street, and we believe Carl Street is a part of the Camino as well. Yeah, you can stand out front, you can look right down through it. And then there were a lot of traffic in this area during the late 1800s.
You can see the railroad
Yeah.
at that bottom, there you go, right
And this is 1954. We have it as far back as 1937, so, there are additional years. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. You just mentioned Call Street possibly being part of becoming a reality. How far on Call Street?
It's from here to, on the west side of the Capitol, on that area. It's part of Call Street. Yes, sir.
How do we get on your mailing list?
If we, go to the website. Scroll down, that contact right there. You can subscribe right here or go to contacts. If you email us, we will respond. If you subscribe, we won't respond, but you'll get the, typically you'll get the email that comes out when we, yes, ma'am.
What, I missed it, or maybe I can't see it, what's the original website that we go to?
Oh, we can put up the QR code for you, and then, but it's, tlcgis.org, and if you see me afterward, I can give you, one of these where you can scan it.
Google, Google, Tallahassee-Leon County GIS.
Yes, ma'am.
Are other states doing the same thing? Many of your, markers are up in Alabama.
Well, there are, open source data, for historical markers. You have the historical marker database, you have, way markers or wayfinding. Then you have local level, have historical markers, you have the cities and that's separate from the counties. So in different places, different organizations may have some that other ones don't. And so I kind of piece together a hodgepodge of historical markers to provide that. But there are people that are doing historical markers, but the website itself is a combination of a lot of things, so you won't, I haven't found anything like what we have here, but I've found in certain places they have some components, but not all of it. Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions. How close can you get to the ground? It looks like that's like 200 feet up there. I mean, I'm trying to see if we wanted to see a neighborhood, how close can you get to it?
Well, we can get pretty decent, but it get a little fuzzy when you get too close in. But what level of detail are you looking at? We can't read a license plate or anything like that. but we can see swimming pools, and we can make out vehicles and that sort of thing.
Okay, because, you know, we're gonna talk with you about the Florida license, and we have like some of the schools. The first of the schools, in the Vaughn neighborhood, first built in 1935. So wanting to look at what was there in 35, what did the whole neighborhood look like? If it was Frenchtown or the Vaughn neighborhood. And the other question is, do you have all of Leon County or just where there are historical markers?
Well, we have all of Leon County historical imagery, except for in certain parts, depending on the funding and depending on what activity was going on during the time period, we have some cutouts that was never provided in the original document, the original data, which is roughly around the governor's mansion. But for the rest of it, we do have it. The 37 imagery is not as good as the 54 imagery, and 96 imagery is better than the 54. You follow? So we do have basically the entire county.
Would you have South Adams Street included in any of that?
I think so.
How do you-
The bond community, for example, came about in different recorded plats. So even though they recorded it in the 1930s, for example, then you won't have all the houses there because they built it out over a period of time. So you will have 2 or 3 houses on one street, you might have 10 on the next street, that sort of thing.
It was 27, and I got that from Doug's.
Yeah, well, I have it, I just don't,
Yeah.
yeah, I do have that information, but,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
I was gonna ask, why did they lose a cascade marker to Meridian Road out in Meridian Road?
they renewed it with a new marker. They have brick pavers, and Cascade was redone. Cascade was a brownfield, had the electric building, they had a gasification plant. There's pictures in the archives about that. It looked kind of like spaceships, big balls and whatnot, full of gas. And so they had to clean it up, and then they put the pavers down, they put the baseline and the prime meridian there. And if you're ever out there, you'll see the brick pavers with the state of Florida, and they have a new marker that's in there, and so they relocated the old. Yes, ma'am. That's the beginning of the public land survey system in the state of Florida for the United States. Yeah, the prime meridian is Meridian Road. And the baseline goes all the way over to almost St. Augustine, to a kind of little jagged. Yes, sir.
Throughout the United States, did they follow the same process of when measuring land, townships and ranges, or is that only in the state of Florida?
There's a couple of variations of that. Alaska is one of them, and north of Georgia, there's a different system, but they all are similar to the rectangular survey system. Yes, sir.
Are you withholding any locations for purposes of protection or other reasons?
No, the reason why is this is designed for public consumption. Anything that has any prohibitions on it, we did not utilize any of that data. This is all publicly sourced. So yes, you can go and look at everything that's on there. And all our original source data is listed in every one of the story maps at the end. We try to put it in at least 2 different places, in the body and also at the end in the credit section. Yes, sir.
Is there LiDAR for all of Leon County?
Yes.
And it's so it's all there?
Yes.
Okay.
And typically it's in every application that we have. It's called the color relief, and we do have 3 different versions of it.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Would it be easier, cause, you've got a lot of information on it, would it be easier to what you did tonight, what you showed us, some of that stuff, to ask for a copy of your presentation tonight and go through that to kind of learn and understand the way that you explained it, or just start from scratch and go to the GIS website and try to figure it all out?
I think, I haven't made this public, but the information is already public, but I can make it available to you. We just have to make sure everything is what you need for the public.
Yeah, what tools you use to do certain things, because I could sort of see what you were clicking on, and there were some things I hadn't seen before.
Right, and this is why I think that it was important for Mr. Holliday to invite me, because I have not shared all the functionality of the applications that we have. Lonnie?
Could you go back to the cadastral map and show how you get to the base map and then how you find your data sets under there? That to me is, that you showed me to do is one of the most useful pieces.
All right, let's go all the way back to the website. Let's go back to the history website. History in your hands, first page. All right, so if you're here, you type in tlcgis.org/history. You'll come to this page, and if you scroll down, right here, 1883 tax cadastral map. You click on that. That'll launch you into the cadastral map where you can see property owners from 1883. Right here is the base map switcher, which gives you a variety of maps and aerial imagery. And at the end, we also have color infrared in here, right there, that's color infrared, you can see the tone is different. And this is the LiDAR, which we call, we branded it as being the color relief at different years. And you could come up here, it's a little off the page though, but you could, it's 3 pages, and you can turn these on and off here. Now, over here on this, we have an add data widget. And any of our authoritative data, that means official data from Leon County, Tallahassee-Leon County GIS. You can type in here easements, cemeteries, parcels. You can type that information in, and a drop down will come in here, and you can select it and add it to this data, the data to this web map.
And there's a simple-minded way to get the cemeteries, starting out with cadastral, blowing away the cadastral map to get to the baseline. Then you have a drop-down menu for that. That has 3 steps, and I can follow that.
Okay. And so you could add as many as your heart content here, but mind you, I would you know, take one at a time, because you have to get used to turning it on and off. Yes, sir.
Why 1883? We don't have any property records earlier than that?
We do have property records earlier than that, but we don't have an actual map that's usable in this fashion. This map was in the Library of Congress. It's also in a couple other places. And so this map, what's unique about this is I took this piece and I cut them out, and I georeferenced them individually, separately, and so you can see these lot numbers here. Not all the maps have the actual lot numbers in reference, so when you look at a historic deed, it's gonna reference these numbers, but if you don't have a map that doesn't show that, you have no idea. Because if you use the current data with this, you will see that a lot of these parcels have been sliced and diced and combined and re-put together like transformers. And so you will lose the context of what you're using. So when you use a historic map, you have to have a historic date. The 1883 is a snapshot in time. And so when you have that snapshot, you can compare notes when you look at the historic record of the transaction of who sold who, what, and when. And you can tie those together, and now you have a point of reference, you have ownership, you have acreage, and you have transactions that link them all together. Can you go to the plantations?
That's what I was gonna ask. Please. That was my next question.
Let's tab over the plantations. I have been requested to put together the large plantations of Leon County from 1860. It should be on the tab. It's separate. Yeah, here we are. Now this was requested by the Riley Museum. This is the first 5 plantations. This is part of their exhibit, so you can go over there and have a wonderful experience over there, looking at their content. But we managed to piece together this and do a profile on these plantations. Griffin Holland, GW, this is basically tall timbers. He was the first person to purchase that, and this is the configuration of the G.W. Holland plantation. These 2 records I haven't had the opportunity to find, but this collection was lost to time so if you Google G.W. Holland and this plantation, you will not find, well, I think it died on me. You will not find this boundary, because it was lost to time, but I pieced it back together with, historical deeds from the 1800s. And, I drew it in, legal description, parcel by parcel, island by island, to get that. And we also researched the family, we know where his native state is from. This was his, daughter and son-in-law wedding photograph. We connected the dots and we associated that with, different places. So the story of, the plantation owners coming here, we find that, we have residents here in Leon County that are associated with, many of these plantations that came from Virginia and other places, North Carolina, Georgia, and so on. Yes, ma'am.
I know that we are concentrating on the Tallahassee area today, but, I did see that you had from Pensacola and in fact Louisiana, all the way over to St. Augustine. In what color? There are a lot of files that apparently burned in the courthouse fire. Is there a way that those can be pieced together or have been pieced together for a lot of the deeds and things that were lost in that fire?
If there's records prior to, that fire, that was available, perhaps that may be able to piece something together.
Possibly from the federal government or?
Well, you could utilize like the survey here. This is one of the opportunities that we found that was very beneficial. Is that the General Land Office has these maps that also identify those lots. So if we can find the transaction from this person selling it to this person, we may be able to piece together some of that. Now, this survey is, like the G.W. Holland survey is from the 1820s. So this is from the federal government to an individual. And so if you don't have that piece from individual to individual, if you lost that somewhere, then you may have a gap in records. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Perkins.
Do you all provide training for this, process? And the other question is, do you provide this for family, do you fee as a consultant? Because we need to look at gaps and how for my family.
I'm not functioning as a consultant. The methodology appear to be sound. We provided this information right here to the Riley Museum. So you may want to talk to Dr. Myers about any records that they may have that might be of assistance with you. But this methodology is something that I individually had put together with the team.
For Gaston County, so I'm asking.
I haven't did anything for I did some research in Gaston County, but not plantations for Gaston
It's
County.
not plantation, I was gonna ask about plantation, I'm just talking about private property.
No.
But I can talk to you about that. It's not, it wasn't a plantation, it was just property.
Just in general.
Yeah, that was owned by one.
It's very, very limited information that I've done in Gaston County. So, yes, ma'am.
How large is your team that does all this research?
We have a team of 13 people, and the
This
history.
must take from the time they get there until the time they get home.
Well, to be all honest, be fair with it, our team handles a lot. We got a lot of load that we carry. The history is just one spoke in the wheel. This is just a small portion of all the things that our team does. And we try to, provide every opportunity that we can to assist people, but, our team, mainly for the history side, it's been, about 3 people, for research. But the contribution is all across the board. We have an individual who, does a lot of, website, make it look all pretty for you. We have someone that's a wizard at utilizing Photoshop for the aerial imagery. database. All our team contributes in some form or fashion.
Marcus,
Yes, sir.
could you share the thoughts, just one quick on now and then, that's really, yeah.
Okay. And then I think Mr. Holliday would like to say a couple words.
Yeah, now and then, but actually, that's the first question.
Yes, white man.
Yes, yes.
Let's look at 54. Let's look at 54. This will give you an idea of change detection. This is an opportunity to see the imagery, what was there in 54 and what is there in 22. So you can look at those calendars, you can see what it looks like back then. And you can grab that little bar in the middle and slide it back and forth.
Wow.
Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah.
She was asking about the starting point, the origin point that's down in Cascade Park.
Yes.
If you do that with that, she'll see what, the answer to her question.
That's pan over to Cascade Park. You can see Centennial Field, baseball field there. That I think is the nearby the location where they want to put the old Capitol replica. So just keep that in mind once you look at this. You can see the old ditch and whatnot that went through there. Myers Park will be on the right. Now, if you have any questions, you can feel free to give us a call, send us an email. We will answer your email and questions. Mr. Holland?
Come on down and, come on down and, I mean, it's just the neatest thing. It just is. So, a couple of things before we adjourn tonight. One is to thank our own Sandy Brooks for all the food tonight. You will be getting notices throughout the summer looking for people to sponsor food for next year, by the way. So don't think you're going to escape. Don't think you're going to escape this. We will have a presence, the Historical Society will have a presence at the Lemoyne Arts Festival. We hope you will be there. We will probably have a presence at Emancipation Day on May the 20th. We're not going to do Word of South this year because we're all going to be too tired. We've been doing these one after another, so we needed a week off. Our speaker, we will have a speaker at our May 9th meeting. It's Gloria Jefferson Anderson and Hunter Hill are going to be talking to us, since that is so close to Emancipation Day. They will be talking about celebrations of freedom and how emancipation was celebrated here from 1865 up to the present. Should be a very interesting program. And again, we hope to see you all Saturday morning. We will meet, those of you who can, we will meet in the parking lot of the food co-op down at Apalachicola and Magnolia, and we will probably head up Apalachicola toward the old Capitol, Appalachian Parkway rather, and swing over to Pensacola, which is Highway 20, and take that on down the scenic way, or you can GPS it yourself and just meet us there at 11. We are going to Prospect Bluff.
Oh, this weekend?
Yes, this weekend, Saturday, yes.
Okay, now I thought you guys got on the 25th to the May 20th event over in Apalachicola.
No. May 20th is Emancipation Day. Here.
Right, well, 25th, the Apalachicola, the new museum that's gonna be over there.
Yeah, I don't even know about that. That'll tell you something. So that'll tell you how little I know. Yes.
The State Historical Society presentation.
Oh.
May 17th at Windmill.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Will. Oh, that's right, Will, yes.
So tomorrow at 9 a.m., our board members will be taking a historic beer recipe and are going to be brewing a bicentennial beer with Tallahassee Beer Society and so we'll be at the Waterworks building bright and early tomorrow brewing beer. And then in May, stay tuned, we're going to have a big release party for this bicentennial beer. I want everybody to
Do we have a name for it yet, Will?
Yeah, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned.
Oh, this is good. So thank you.
Stay tuned.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, Marcus. We will see you Saturday, and then we'll see you at the various meetings.